Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Blyssful Life podcast. I am your host, Samantha Gregory, the self-care alchemist. Today, I have Miss Leslie Ann. She is the founder of Brown Girl Embrace. We're going to be talking about her work, her project, what she does, why she does it, and how you can learn more about her business, her process, and how she came to this place of Brown Girl Embrace. Welcome, Leslie. Thank you so much for being on the Blyssful Life podcast. Before we start, I would love to know who you are, where you're from, and how you got to the space and place of starting Brown Girl Embrace.
So I can take you from the beginning of my childhood. My father committed suicide from depression when I was 9 years old. 6 months later, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. When I was about 24, I found out I had extreme anxiety and extreme depression. I was a 9-year-old who had to take 4 insulin shots a day. During the pandemic, I really just wanted to start embracing myself and find other people who were like me, who had type 1 diabetes, who had anxiety, who had depression. And I just wanted to help other women and girls. And I became a mentor and a life coach. So I created Brown Girls Embrace for brown girls to embrace who they really are and to create a community to show we got you and we support you.
Awesome. I love that. And so, how did you get through the anxiety and depression? What was your pathway? And do you feel like you still deal with that? Do you feel like that's something that's behind you and that you may get the blues every now and then, but not really in that deep depressive state anymore?
What helped me was therapy.
Mhm.
That helped me a lot. Therapy helped me so much. Medication, anxiety medication helped. And just, I am religious. So relying on God and realize that you are worthy and there's a reason why God created you. There's a reason why you are here. You're not worthless. You can do so much more. And I've always wanted to be a helper and a giver, but that was just things that helped me was therapy was number one. And then you have to really eliminate people who are not supposed to be in your life. Getting rid of the toxic energy, realize what your value, who you want to be in your circle. What has helped me finding who I am and what I like. If you don't know who you are, then it's not gonna take you far in life. Like you have to know what you want and know what your likes. And I think the pandemic has made me sit down and get to know who I was as a person.
I think that happened for a lot of people because that was a time when I went on sabbatical. I was done with work. I wanted to truly know myself, continue my healing process, and find out who I am outside of what other people said I am, all the masks I put on, et cetera. I think the pandemic was a catalyst for many people to start that self-discovery process. Life just wasn't working in the status quo that like we thought it was before.
Yeah.
So with Brown Girl Embrace, you said you started during the pandemic and you wanted to surround yourself with other women. How did you go from an idea to an actual process, program, and business?
I am one of those people, when I have an idea, I want to do it right then and I want to see it happen right then and there. So I had the idea and I didn't have the idea of creating a business.
Mhm.
I just wanted to honestly build community and connect. I wanted to do like a blog or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm a natural hairstylist as well. During the pandemic, my clientele was going down. And I was like, maybe it's a sign that I should just stop doing hair. And I had another friend who was just like, why don't you just start selling your own products?
Hmm.
And I was just like, why don't you do that, Leslie? I started looking at Curl's Daughter product, Kaleidoscope, all of these different products, but it wasn't going to align with my business and what I was about. I went on YouTube and started doing DIY stuff. I came up with my shea butter line where I have a shea butter, body butter, and hair butter, and hair oils, fragrance oils, beard balm. I love the way shea butter feels on my skin, especially with me being a type 1 diabetic. My skin doesn't heal fast because I have a low immune system.
Sure.
And you can't really find that type of shea butter in the store. You can find it, but it's watered down in base. But I wanted something organic that was going to feel good on my skin because I have that melanin skin and my skin gets dry and ashy. I just wanted to create, and I knew I could put positive oils inside to help with the anxiety part too. And then I also put positive affirmations on the top of the jar. You can not only have something that can heal you on your skin, but just something mentally you can be like, when you use I am enough, or I can do this, or something positive to say. So I call it the positive affirmation jars.
Oh, love it. I love that. Okay. Yes, I'm really big on shea butter. I will order mine the raw version on Amazon
Okay.
and make products. I did it for women who are in menopause. It includes magnesium and lavender fragrances. I just really enjoyed the process because it really helped me a lot with the anxiety, stress, sleep, and insomnia. I understand how it feels on our skin. We have beautiful skin, but it is susceptible to a lot of dryness. I love the affirmations. I mean, we
Thank
definitely.
you so much.
Is your community on Facebook or do you have it on your own website or Patreon?
So I'm currently building my website. Last year, I became certified as a life coach and a mentor. So
Mhm.
I'm officially a mentor and a life coach. I'm working on building my community now. I should be doing my first adult self-love workshop at the Makerspace. I had a meeting
Okay,
with her this morning. So I
nice.
should be having a workshop with her sometime in March for
Mhm.
Women's History Month.
Yeah.
But I'm still growing my community. I'm still doing lives and going to different pop-ups to promote my brand. So that's how I've been trying to build and grow.
So, what are some of the ways that you help your clients deal with burnout, stress, and anxiety?
So right now I'm a mentor for teens. We do different workshops. Some of the modules are conquering anxiety and fear, self-love, self-care, and wearing a crown proudly. We do different exercises around them. One exercise we did was affirmation and jars. The girls had to write down all the negative things about themselves they didn't like. Mirror and say it silently, rip it up, throw it away. Then we
Mm.
reverse it and put something positive, and you keep that in your jar.
Oh,
So
nice.
just let go of different things like that.
That's great. I think that mirror work is really crucial.
Yeah.
It is so crucial because in one of my products, I advocate for doing mirror work. It's one of the hardest things to do, especially in the beginning. I'm looking at myself and having this conversation, but I find that it has a really profound impact. Look in the mirror and do our makeup, do our hair, take care of our skin, but we're not really looking at ourselves and pouring all the energy that we give to other people back to ourselves.
I think it was Instagram or TikTok I saw today where you have a lady, she has a cup full of water
Mhm.
and then she dumps it out, but she's constantly pouring into other people's cup.
Mhm.
She had nothing left to give herself because nobody was pouring back into her. So we
Right.
constantly got to pour our back into ourselves and hang around people who can feed off each other. We pour back into each other.
Now, I want to go back to those toxic relationships you said you had to let go. Talk more about that and why you found that to be one of the most important steps you took in your healing from anxiety and stress and burnout.
um, I found when you are around people who have negative things to say, you begin to think those negative thoughts.
Hmm.
And I didn't want to surround myself with people who was going to put those negative thoughts in my mind. I was telling somebody too before when I created Brown Girls Embrace, those same toxic people, I had blocked them before the pages became about because
Hmm.
I knew when I was going to post something, that's dumb. Why would you do that? So I really wanted this to be my baby
Hmm.
and I wanted to create something. And I knew toxic people wasn't allowed. This is a positive space for me, my personal outlet. If you can't grow with these people and you can't thrive and succeed and be the best version of yourself, they're just dead weight.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's so true. A lot of people find it challenging to let go of those people because sometimes you, oh, excuses, they're just how they are, or there's some good parts to them, but when you find out when you recognize at the end of the day, if they are not, like you said, pouring into you, if they're not your fan club, your cheerleader, then they're the ones dragging you down because misery loves company.
Exactly.
One of those hard lessons to learn. It's not just family members either, it's so-called friends. I call them frenemies that have
Mm-hmm.
all the things to say about every little thing you do, but they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And is that also what you also share with the teens that you work with on a daily basis or work with as well?
We do this one exercise it's called boundaries,
Mhm.
and we create a circle, and their name is in the middle of the circle, and they have to put all the things that they don't like outside of the circle, and all that they are okay with inside the circle.
Mhm.
So when you see these people outside of your boundary,
Mhm.
are they a good friend or are they not? That helps them mentally see maybe I shouldn't be their friend.
Do they come back and share with you if the difference that the exercise has made for them?
Yeah. I also with the other teen girls, they give each other advice of what they like bullies at school,
Mhm.
what how they should handle it. Let's tell her this. I love the fact that they helping the other student. So it's like, I told her, I don't care what you think. I don't want to do it, or peer pressure.
This just spreading all the goodness in the youth first, but I think that's where it begins. If we don't get them when they're young, it's going to be so hard when they get older to let go of those type of relationships and really be able to stand up for themselves.
Yeah, bullying is real. Mental health is real. Depression, anxiety, bipolar, all that stuff is real. We have to recognize it, don't be ashamed of it, and then attack it.
So where do you see Brown Girl Embrace going in the next year, 2 years, etc.?
I really want my coaching business to take off with adult women. More workshops, more self-love workshops, more shea butter workshops. Just me growing as a life coach and a mentor. I see brown girls building a community for other women to help empower them and build women up and gain confidence. That's all I ever wanted, was another other group of women to be confident in me. So even now when people reach out to me and say, Leslie, I'm so proud of what you're doing, that means a lot to me. I feel more women should say that to each other instead of just looking on Instagram and screenshotting it and saying something negative. We should
Mhm.
really be there to encourage each other and build each other up.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree because your network is your net worth, not just financially, but also
Mhm.
mentally, emotionally, because if the people that you're around are not lifting you up, if they're always on the hustle and grind thing, they're going to run you into the ground. They're going to run themselves into the ground. You really won't be very good for anybody. So I think that is so important to surround yourself with people who are elevating.
I agree. And
So
this the event that we met, it was good energy. It was a lot of women who were striving to do the same thing as entrepreneurs.
So tell me more about your shea butter classes. Of course, you're helping them make it, but is there anything else involved in the actual classes in terms of empowerment?
Last year, I did strictly the shea butter workshop,
Okay.
but this year I am implementing the self love exercises and the
Mhm.
icebreakers before the workshop. So we can do some exercises and get our mind clear. Then we can go into smelling the different aromatherapies and smelling the butters and transforming, so we can turn something hard and make something soft and wet. So it's a
Mhm.
transformation.
Wait, I like that. That's really
So
good.
thank you so much.
Yes, as you are preparing for your life coaching for adult women, what's the main things that you want to share with them in terms of how to embrace themselves and how to transform their burnout into self-care practices that will help them in life?
My main goal is to realize that it's all about your mindset. Life is your mindset and how you look at things. If you are embarrassed about something or don't want to talk about, I know a lot of people don't like to open up. That's totally fine. But as long as you are okay with yourself and you don't need validation from anyone else, and
Mhm.
granted, I'm still working. I'm still working on not getting the validation I'm looking for from different people,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to your family. You want your family to be proud of you.
Right.
But I'm working on just being okay with being proud of Leslie, being okay with being a dark skinned girl, because I was not okay with being a dark skinned girl for a long time.
Mhm.
Being okay having type 1 diabetes, just to embrace it and be okay with myself.
Yeah. And that's so
Mm-hmm.
important. I love that because the validation piece, something that I dealt with as well. You want your family to be proud of you. You want them to see you and really recognize the hard work that you're doing. But I realize they may not understand what you're doing. They may not be on board with what you're doing. They want you to stay the way you used to be because by becoming something different, you may outgrow them. And sometimes they're afraid of that.
Yeah, I agree. And then they're scared because they can't do it. They don't have the strong ability or the mental stability to do what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I am so excited for your journey in 2025 and beyond and embrace and Brown Girl Embrace. I'm really excited to see how that is going to impact so many lives, not just in the area that we live, but in the world, impacting the world of women. Do you currently have a lot of women outside of the DMV area, or is it mostly contained in this area?
It's mostly in this area, but I do want to expand and grow. I want to grow on social media, grow on YouTube. I'm about to take this YouTube class in a couple of weeks, promote myself really on social media, because you can reach people worldwide on social
Mhm.
media.
Absolutely. Where can we find you online, your website and your social media so people can know? Because this podcast does go worldwide. I would love for them to be
Okay.
able to connect with you.
So on Instagram, I am Brown Girls Embrace _LLC. On YouTube, I'm Brown Girls Embrace. Those were in. Facebook as Brown Girls Embrace Leslie.
Okay, excellent. And I'll have all of your links in the description of this podcast episode. And before we end, just give us a word of advice or encouragement for a woman that's listening to this podcast right now. What would you tell her about how to accept herself and get to know herself so that she can become the best version of herself?
Be you, be calm, be the best version of yourself.
Thank you, Leslie, and I appreciate you being on this episode of the Blyssful Life podcast. We will again be sharing your information out to the audience in the description below. And also another question, do you have anything special that you want to share with them in terms of an offer or something they need to look out for on your website?
No, just go to my website and you can get a bundle deal. You can get the Brown Girl box. It's a self-care box with affirmations, and it's 3 different scents of shea butter. I've been getting a lot of orders of that lately for gift boxes. But yeah, go to the website. This reach out, DM me if you have any questions about what's on it to get your different shea butters, hair butters, oils, body butters, or coaching services or workshops. Shea butter. I've been on a lot of shea butter workshops too. So anything like that, reach out to me.
Thank you for being on the Blyssful Life podcast. And thank you all for listening to this episode of the Blyssful Life podcast. Please be sure to subscribe, like it, and leave a review and let us know what you think about this episode and any other episode. We have plenty coming up for 2025. I'm just thankful that you're part of this journey. Go out there and create the blissful life because you truly deserve it. I'm Samantha, your host. Have a great evening. Take care.
Thanks, you too.